Okay, I wanted to take a moment in this video to go over a problem on your homework, or a similar problem to your homework. This isn't an exact problem from your homework, but it is similar to one, so you can kind of see what I'm wanting from it. So for part A, we're finding the mean, median, mode, and range. I think that this is probably pretty self-explanatory, but just going over it. To find the mean here, I need to add them all up. So when I put them on my calculator, let's make sure you can see that. So 8 plus 14 plus 14 plus 12 plus 16 plus 4 plus 13 plus 11 plus 18 plus 21 plus 20 plus 32. Let me make sure. 14, 12, 16, 4, 13, 18, 21, 20, 32. So you get 183 when you add them all up and divided by 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So that number divided by 12 gives me 15.25. So that is the mean here. The median is when you put them in order. So I need to order these first. So the first number when I order them would be 4, and then 8, and then 11, and then 12, and then 13, 2 14s, a 16, 18, 20, 21, 32. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so, oh, sorry, you can't see that. So ordering them, so now to find the median, I'm just marking them off one at a time from each end. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3. And the median is the average of these two numbers, and since it's the same number, the median would be 14. Okay, the mode is the number that appears the most, that happens, that you see the most, which we only have one repeat here, so the mode is also 14 here. And the range is highest minus lowest, so 32 minus 4 is 28 is the range. Okay, so that's part A, mean, median, mode, and range. For part B, the stem and leaf plot, we've kind of already gone over this, but just a reminder, your stem is the tens place in this case, and your leaf is the ones place. So I have some zeros, I have some things with a 1 as a tens place, and I have some things with a 2 and a 3 as the tens place. So 0 is the tens place, there's a 4, there's an 8. For the 1 as the tens place, there's an 11, 12, 13, 14, 14. So I need a 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 6, and 8. For the 2, I just have 20 and 21, so a 0 and a 1. And for the 32, I just have a 2. Okay, for C, to do a box and whisker plot, I'm actually going to do D at the same time because the 5-number summary is the min, the max, so min, max, Q1, Q2, Q3, and I need to find all those things to be able to do the box and whisker plot. So I'm going to come over here on the side and do the 5-number summary also. The minimum is the smallest number, which is 4. The maximum is the biggest number, which is 32. So now I need to find Q1, Q2, Q3. Okay, Q2 is your median, which we already found. So that's kind of why I did this all together, was because the parts help you with the other parts. So the median is Q2, which is 14. Q1 is once you find the median, you then use the first half, find the median in the first half of the data, and find the median in the second half of the data. So I believe that this was discussed in the other video, but just a reminder, if your median is one number, if you have an odd set of points here and you have one number, you use that one number and then you'd split it off and use this is first half, this is the second half. In this case, I didn't actually use either one of these 14s. I averaged them together and it ended up being the same number. But neither one of these is the median. It was the middle of these two numbers, right? So when I go to find my Q1 and Q3, I'm going to use the first half of data, and I'm using that 14 also because I did not use that as the median. And I'm using the second half of data like that. I hope that makes sense. Let's finish this problem and I can show you like just an example, like if there was one less data point here, kind of what that would look like. Okay, so now to find Q1, I need the median of this. So if I'm counting down this way, 1, 1, it's the average between 11 and 12. So you could do 11 plus 12 divided by 2, or it would be 11.5. Same thing over on this side. I'm marking them off one at a time, and it's the average of 18 and 20. 18 plus 20 divided by 2 is 19. So that is my 5-number summary. Once I have the 5-number summary, this is all the things that's going to go in my box and whisker plot. Okay, so the minimum value is going to be a 4. And then my next point is going to be Q1, which is 11.5. My next line would be 14, which would be about right there. Try to make it pretty close to scale. You could actually draw a number line if you wanted to. My next point would be 19, which would be about right here. And that's my boxes. Okay, and then maximum of 32 would be way out here. So 32. So that's my box and whisker plot. So now for E, inner quartile range is Q3 minus Q1. And that's what the inner quartile range is, and you usually see that as IQR. So Q3 is 19, minus Q1 is 11.5, and 19 minus 11.5 is 7.5. So the inner quartile range is 7.5. And then the last thing is to find the outliers. So the outliers, there's 2 different outliers. One outlier is the one on the left-hand side is any numbers that are less than Q1 minus 1.5 times the IQR. Okay. On the other side, outliers on this side would be numbers that are greater than Q3 plus 1.5 times the IQR. Okay, so Q1 is 11.5 minus 1.5 times my IQR is 7.5. And when I type that in my calculator, I get 0.25. So outliers on the left-hand side are numbers less than the number 0.25. I don't have any numbers less than the number 0.25 because my smallest number is 4. My smallest number is 4, my minimum is. So there are no outliers on the left-hand side. Outliers on the right-hand side is Q3, which is 19, plus 1.5 times my IQR, times 7.5. So 19 plus 1.5 times 7.5 is 30.25. So it's numbers that are greater than 30.25. I do have numbers that are greater than, at my maximum 32. And that's the only number that I have greater than. So we have one outlier in this problem, and the outlier is 32 because it is greater than this value. Okay. So I hope that's helpful. I hope that explains what I kind of expecting from the homework. It doesn't have to look exactly like this, but you need to make sure you have all of this information on there. So let me show you real quick if I had this same set of data, but let's pretend like I take off one of my numbers on the end. It was an even set of data. So what if I'm sorry, odd set. This was an even set. So 4, 8, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 16, 18, 20, and 21. So I just took off the 32. So this time I have 11. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 data values here. So now finding the median when you're crossing off the ends, the median is going to be, this is my Q2 right here. Okay, so this is my Q2, or my median, however you want to think about it. If you have one number for your median, when you go to find Q1 and Q3, you do not include that number. This is the stuff to use find Q1, and this is the stuff to find Q3. Okay, so then from here, you'd break it down. That would be Q1. And then find the median here. That would be Q3. Okay, so I hope you can see the difference between if it's an odd set of numbers versus an even set of numbers. The difference is if it's odd and that's your median, you don't include that when you split it in half. Here, if you have an even set of data values, when you break it into two pieces, you include both of those pieces because that wasn't actually your median. Okay, hope that's helpful. If it's not, or if you still have any other questions, please feel free to email me and let me know.